should be noted that the two girls in the dorm room are not the same girls in California, and that girls in California are a distinctly different species than girls in Boston. This company is very male-centric. The guys who started this company are all men. Facebook currently has a female COO, and so I guess they've expanded their horizons a bit. But the movie is about the creators of Facebook, and they were exclusively male. Very much like to meet him. There have been a variety of reactions to this character in the States and internationally. In the States, a lot of the older generation kind of viewed the movie as a cautionary tale and viewed my character as somebody who is dangerous, a young person with too much power. Whereas the young people that we took into colleges in the States viewed my character almost heroically. Who's a pioneer and doing amazing things. And that's how I've come to view him as well. And as I do more publicity for this movie, which has been been a lot over the last several weeks, I developed an even greater affection for him in discussing him. To prepare for the role, I used Aaron Sorkin's wonderful script. He created an amazing character. He created several amazing characters. And also learned everything I could about the real person. I read every interview with him, and transferred all of his interviews onto my iPod so I can listen to it on the way to work, as well as in between scenes. The movie had access to Mark Zuckerberg's college application to Harvard. In it, he writes a very eloquent essay about fencing with his friends. So I took fencing lessons to understand how he stood, because he has a very unique posture. When I took fencing lessons, I learned that that's how they teach you to stand. So I tried to understand as much as I could about the real person to play this version created by Aaron Sorkin.
Ma il fatto che lei parli così veloce è una caratteristica del personaggio, oppure lei parla così veloce nella realtà in generale, come i figli?
This character from the first scene is speaking quicker than his mind works. Aaron created a character who can have 10 conversations at one time, which often creates a lot of problems for him. The girl in the opening scene is confounded by him. She can't understand what he's saying, breaks up with him. And all along the way, he's speaking more quickly than people are able to kind of absorb. This is kind of a great part of Aaron's writing in general. Aaron wrote A Few Good Men and The West Wing, among many other wonderful projects. So this is a character only he could have created, I think. While we were making the movie, I think we didn't think too much about how they would react. And then as the movie was about to be released in the States and there was a lot of publicity, I think we felt a little concerned that it wouldn't be received well by the people who it's about. We've been pleasantly surprised to see that the reaction has been, for the most part, really positive. I think the person we were primarily concerned about was Mark, of course. But he did a very interesting thing. On October 1st, when the movie came out in the States, Mark rented out an entire movie theater in Palo Alto, California, and put his employees on a bus and took them to the theater and showed them the movie. Yeah, everybody at the company would see the movie on the weekend by themselves. So at least in this way, he's kind of in control of it. It's I think, a really clever thing to do. The kind of most interesting part of it for me, though, is that my cousin is an employee of Facebook and was on the bus and at the movie theater and at the bar afterwards, where Mark Zuckerberg ordered apple teenies for all of his employees, which is the drink in the movie, the green martini. My cousin asked him about his reaction to the movie and he's told my cousin to send me a text message saying that I did a good job. But that's kind of the only reaction I've received from Mark. Eduardo Saverin saw the movie, was overwhelmed with it, in a very positive way. The twins, the Winklevoss twins and Divya have been at every screening, Paris, New York. They're very proud of their portrayal. And as you can see, as played by Armie Hammer and Max Minghella, they're presented beautifully. So we've been really pleased and even more than pleased, relieved.
Prego.
Yeah, I'll start with the second part. I thought a lot about how Facebook maybe distances people. I don't have Facebook. I never have had Facebook, with the exception of a very brief period during rehearsal of this movie to understand what it was my character had done. But when I was in high school, before Facebook was invented, I would come home every day and watch television by myself. I have a sister who's 10 years younger than me, and she comes home from school and speaks to her friends and creates, new play dates for them. And so I think there's a stronger argument for Facebook bringing people together, which is evident in the difference between me and my sister. In terms of Mark and his betrayals in this movie, I never thought of them as betrayals. I think movies tend to show the virtue of friendship as the most important thing. This is just a common theme in many movies. And so when people enter in to see this movie and they see a person who's not being a good friend, I think the instinct is to demonize him. But it's because he's just not focused on friendship in the way many characters in movies are, and many characters in this movie are. The character I play is exclusively focused on Facebook. If that means that he will make friends with somebody who's working on it as well, that's great, but that's not his interest. Eduardo Saverin in this movie, according to Mark, in this movie, suffers from a failure of imagination. Eduardo wants to take the company in a different direction that will hurt the company. The fact that Facebook has 500 million users is a testament to how insightful Mark Zuckerberg was with where the company needed to be. So when Mark severs the relationship with Eduardo, it's because he wants to promote the company. It's not that he wants to sever the relationship, it's just that Mark is exclusively interested in Facebook. If you view it that way, Mark is honorable because he values this thing that everybody else uses rather than friendship, which only he can use. And that's how I viewed him. And in that way, he's not a good friend or a bad friend. He's just a great leader.